very tense and this was becoming a major issue, he actually took the catechists who were doing the major translations work and got a safe house for them in Guatemala City so that they could continue the translations out, without risk. So that once again, so that the people could be dignified in themselves and their heritage and as well as their native language. So those types of things where it was entering into a culture, receiving the culture for what it was, but also putting it in contact with the Lord himself. Those types of things which would elevate the dignity of the human person. And he would care for them and he would bless their marriages and baptize their children and give them hope, essentially. Even in their current context, he became an enemy of that because it was like they wanted to extinguish the Mayan culture instead of sanctify it. And that's why he became, a very a huge target.
Now, walk us through how he actually died. We can think of, really, really powerful martyrdoms in Latin America, like Archbishop Romero's martyrdom.
Of course.
He was murdered while celebrating Holy Mass. How did Blessed Stanley die?
In his work, he became known and was on a kill list of the government. They knew it was going to happen. He was well aware that he was not favored by the militarized government at that time.
So he would have had plenty of opportunities to leave.
Yes. And it was early in the year. I think it was around March, he made his way back to Oklahoma. He would come back, every few years or something like that to visit family. And it was his time in Oklahoma. He was preaching at a local parish. One of his good friends and a priest in Oklahoma, he went to that. And I think he gave a talk after Mass in the parish hall where people were asking questions about what the situation, because it was very volatile and everybody knew there was a lot of violence and what the volatility was. Father Stanley himself had lost many parishioners that were murdered in the open or that were just disappeared. And, he was dealing with the widows and their children and those types. It was very, very volatile, very violent. And so he was speaking openly about what the current situation was. And at this point, he was already on a kill list. And so he was encouraged to not return. And at that point, he said he wanted to go back because it was Holy Week and he wanted to celebrate Holy Week with his people. And so he said he would go back, but if it got to the point where he was very, very much in danger, then he would leave.
Father Bonaventure, if you had to choose between getting Warby Parker glasses, subscribing to a YouTube channel, or flossing your teeth, what would you choose?
Oof. I guess, to be honest, subscribing to a YouTube channel.
See, folks, it's not as bad as flossing your teeth or getting Warby Parker glasses. Please subscribe to Godsplaining. Cheers.